what is going on? We are getting into some yoga movements here, and what I'm going to walk you through is going to be a single yoga pose with a bunch of different positions and body tweaks that are going to allow you to get the most out of this stretch. So we're going to start in a downward dog position. It can really be anything you want. If your knees need to be bent, if you want to pedal them out, whatever feels good. Ultimately, we are sending one foot, we'll start with the right, up between the hands. So this is going to be the primary position that we're in. We're going to drop this knee to the ground. And we'll start by just going up. When we bring the hands up, we lean back, we lean these hips forward, and we're going to start by bringing our elbows and our shoulders back. This is going to open up this chest cavity and give us some upper body mobility and flexion in an otherwise lower body position. So we'll lean back here, kind of just gauge how much we need. We can do that a couple times. Almost just lost my balance, totally cool. But ultimately, we are going to be focusing on getting this left hip and this left psoas forward and down. Now, it doesn't matter how far you can get into it. You just want to be able to feel that stretch. This psoas, it's what connects this lower body to our upper body. And this is super tight on almost all dudes. So all of these stretches where we've got this hip region, this pelvic groin region stretched out, these are totally catapulting our body's function and our body's movement. So first movement here, first positioning is really just getting comfortable. We can throw the hands on the knee if we want. We're just leaning into this. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to open up this front right knee. So we're going to open this up and we're going to throw the back leg up. So now we've kind of opened it, and now we've got weight being bared in different positions. We've got some weight being bared in this front left arm, up into the shoulder, into the chest. We've obviously got this knee, we've brought this up. So now we're working on a little bit of strength in this back leg, while this stretch is definitely still going on. Like my psoas is still being ripped right through, and then we're opening up this front right hip, and we're getting onto that side blade edge of that right foot. What we're going to do now is we're going to open up to the ceiling. So now we're going to open this up, we're going to send our hands straight up, and we're just going to breathe into it. If you need to drop your knee, that is totally fine. The idea here is we're just rotating, we're bearing weight, and we're getting into different ranges of motion than we're used to. All right, next thing that we're going to do. So we're going to keep this right knee bent out. We're going to bring our hands down, and we are going to get as low down as we can. Now, I'm decently flexible here. I've been doing this for a little while, so I can get down to these elbows if I want. But if you need to get a block, you need to get a pillow, you need to get books, anything that can get you to a range where you're comfortable, but pushing a little bit is where we want to be. With all of these stretches, we basically want to find really like our 70 to 80% max, and then we want to use our breath to take us the remainder of the way. The goal of these stretches and the way that we get the most out of these is not by going to 100% right away and like really struggling to breathe and holding it for 5 seconds. Like we want to get as far as we comfortably can and then use the breath and use gravity to take us the rest of the way. So we're getting in here. We're going to do a few breaths. This knee is still out. We're still on this blade edge of the foot. And then we're going to lift back up and we'll center back over this knee. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to bring this back foot up a little bit, and we're going to throw it onto a 45-degree angle. So it's still pretty far back, but it's not in quite the stretch that it just was. And now we're going to bring this all the way to the top, and we're going to straighten out this right leg and lean back. One other way to really get the most out of this is we're going to pull on this front right wrist. Can't totally see in the video, that's cool. bring it forward. We're gonna plant the hands, reposition the back foot as necessary, and we're gonna send it back into down dog. So now I'm gonna go through this left side for you. We'll go at a little bit more of a comfortable pace. We'll start here. We're gonna drop this knee. Hands go up, hip goes forward. We open up this chest cavity, bring these elbows back, let these shoulder blades slide down the back. You can feel those back muscles really wrapping around the spine. And then we can feel this psoas. We can just get this leaning as much forward as we can. Sometimes it helps to straighten the foot or release the foot. Sometimes it helps to have it up, however you want to do it really. We're gonna bring it down. Now we're gonna send this left knee outward. We're gonna rise up and we are gonna reach for the ceiling. Again, in this position, we've got a lot of weight being bared in this right arm. We've got this right psoas and this right hip being ripped right through, being loosened up like crazy. We've got this left knee outward, this left hip is being opened up, and we're getting this spinal rotation all the way up. We're gonna bring it down. I'm gonna drop the knee this time. I don't know if I did that the first time. And we're gonna get into this lizard pose. So we've got this knee is still out, and we're getting down as low as we can. And this really focuses on the hip of the knee that's elevated. I can really feel this in my left hip here. Hang out for a few minutes as necessary. We're gonna bring it in. We're gonna rise up. We're gonna bring this foot up a little bit. We're gonna rotate it out 45 degrees. Grab this wrist, go all the way up. Oh, I can see a little bit. And ultimately, we'll come back down here. I'm gonna throw it back to down dog. And there you go. So, again, premise of this entire exercise, this entire routine, is really to learn about how different positioning and how different weight-bearing function allows your body to get comfortable in different positions than you're used to. So there's a lot of ways to make progress here. Please don't feel discouraged if you can't get into some of the poses in the depth that you maybe see me getting into or that you want to get to. Again, right in that 70 to 80% range. Let the breath take you the rest of the way. That is how we're gonna make progress here on stretching. We are not looking to go 100%, hold it for 5 seconds and say, fuck it, this sucks, right? All right, we're making progress here. I'm breathing a little bit, let's go. Good job making it through this. Let's keep moving on, baby.